Welcome back to the Juice.
Bang.
Alright, so basically, like, once we get started, are we gonna, like, dive right into, like, you guys playing the season together, or do you want to, like, dance around it, or, like, play, like tongue-in-cheek type of stuff, or just
Well,
kinda,
definitely, like, we're going to probably talk about a lot of it, like, mainly.
You want that to be, like, the main focus
yeah,
of
us
the episode?
playing the season, for sure. Like, why wouldn't it be?
That's true. We did Mike and I last week, so...
Yeah, it only makes sense.
Do you want to do, like, anything else with the episode, or, like, you want to just talk about you two in the season?
We're running the whole season together? I thought we just wanted to run tournament.
Bro, we literally talked about this, like... No, wait, seriously, like...
The whole... Wait a minute, are you being serious?
No, we talked...
I told you I give you one tournament.
Dude, we literally... No, all right, what do you guys do? Like, come on, like...
Bro, I'm...
Obviously, yeah, we're playing the whole fucking season together. Haha, funny, Jake.
Maybe...
You never agreed to that.
No.
Hold on, guys, we'll have to cut this bit out. This is getting awkward.
No, wait, what? Like, the whole season.
I mean, Mike was asking me the other day.
Wait a minute.
And like, you and Mike, who couldn't win a single tournament who couldn't get a bracket last year?
I mean, at least he can get me some aces.
Fuck this. I'm done with this, guys. Jake, get off. Jake, get off the fucking podcast.
Tell me who you know doing things like the Lemon Boys do it on the way to the top. This is elevator music, matter of fact.
Spikeball's full of a bunch of losers.
I'ma put it in reverse like Fanaki, cocky. Never be killing these brothers softly.
Travis Core trains dogs to bite people.
Y'all be driving stick shift. This is auto. You know I'll turn it up. Get it knocked out. I wanna beat up the beat. You gotta see if
Hey guys, it's Kyle Keenan. Keenan is key.
Gabe Fanaki is going to be playing with
you know I'm about to eat like a Ryan Paul. Too tough, no rest crown. I wear it. Big cut, big flex. Mike Garrett. Run the game around here. This is natural. And you know I got the touch like a match pole. Spike lemonade. On the way to the top, about to elevate. Spike lemonade. And the boys don't play. Better get it straight. Come on!
Honestly, with the Discord, dude, I honestly just thought it was a bit of a bitch-ass move.
Are you serious?
That's so good.
We're live.
Jake do the intro.
I have no idea
He doesn't
what
know
the
the
intro is. I don't think they do either.
Yeah, I don't know if we do know the intro. Let's see. You're listening to Spike Lemonade, the only Roundnet podcast that squeezes out all the juice in the Roundnet community right now. I'm Matt Spilark.
I'm Josh Donato.
I'm Jake Mottershead.
We have Jake Mottershead. Another lemon. A quiet one. No way. We have Kyle on the sideline mocking
Chirps.
Jake.
The chirps.
The chirps off the rip. A lot of you guys may be asking, like, what the heck does this guy have anything to do with Roundnet? You may have not even seen him before. So, Jake, you've been playing for a little bit now. When was the last time you've been on the pod? Was the Caribbean
Yeah.
with...
Was that 2021? 22? I forget now.
When was that? 2021?
What is 2022?
Before the season, 2022.
Yeah.
May?
That was before
Yeah.
our first tour stop. That was before Richmond.
So he was contender.
Wait. It was not last year.
2022.
Oh, yes.
Before the seasons.
You're right. 2022.
Yeah, that
And
was
you
a long
guys...
time ago.
Yeah, you were contender. Now you're premier. You've played a lot more. What has happened between now and then that the listeners should know?
I don't know, just playing lots of pickup. Not showing up at tournaments.
Yeah, you had a quiet year tournament-wise. Not from results, but just from you.
Well,
how many did you play? 5?
You had a good bit.
Five,
I
I think
say.
five.
I think 5. I think you played 5.
That's a decent amount. 5 tour stops. Yeah,
Think?
maybe. Oh, out of, I don't know.
I mean, 5's not
Maybe.
terrible. How many did you play? How many did I'm trying to think how many I did. I think I did like 8.
I might have been up like about 8, but we also spent a lot more money doing that.
That we
So
did.
he was probably smarter
And
with
he
that
was
case.
finishing up school and or looking for a job during that time, so he had to set himself up.
Just didn't have time to take off. from work.
Yep.
So who'd you play this past season with?
I played with Mike.
And how'd that go?
Very underwhelming for both of us. We played 3 majors together, and we failed to make the top bracket all 3 times. I think we went 4-2 and 3-3 at each of the tournaments.
4-2 wasn't good enough for top bracket.
Because
Just
of a
missed
point
it,
diff,
right?
we missed out each time.
34 you guys were.
I think so,
Because
yeah.
Jersey boys were 33. Yeah. That was in Philly.
That was Philadelphia.
Very
that
disappointing.
sucked. What do you think it was? Why, like, you guys play with Gabe all the time. You guys have the potential to beat a ton of really good teams. You guys are great players. Why do you think it was not applying in tournaments?
We play down to our competition a lot, so we can never blow anyone out, even if we're playing well. We just tend to make sloppy mistakes. So then all our wins are super close, and then so our point diff is never good enough. And then we end up dropping one game usually that we shouldn't have lost.
So what is your goal for this season coming up? Like, what do you want? What are you going to change to make that not happen?
I have more time off from work this coming year, so hopefully I'll be able to take off and play in more tournaments. And then I guess the ultimate goal is to make pro.
That's a good goal.
Do you have a lineup of like potential people that you want to play with for the season?
I didn't want to have a partner lined up yet, but a certain someone kept bugging me to make a decision, so I had to eventually give him what he wanted.
Okay, so somebody peer pressured you into playing with them.
Yeah, basically.
Gotcha.
Was it like a gun to your head kind of situation? Like, what did this guy do?
He kept calling me. I was like, give me some time, and he just kept calling.
Sounds annoying.
Yeah, it sounds like a weird dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who was it?
I don't know, some guy. He thinks he's all good now that he got second place with Gabe.
Now that Gabe carried him to a second place at Christmas Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I bullied Jake into playing with me this season, and it's going to be electric.
Yeah.
We are going to be pro, and you are going to be scared every single time you see us. That's just how it's going to happen. Mike couldn't bring out Jake's best and get him in the top bracket. I have more experience with that and top brackets and finals matches and tournaments that matter. So
Mike
I'm
couldn't
bringing
bring
him.
out Jake's best, or Jake couldn't bring out Mike's best, because it is a team effort. It goes both ways.
Jake is just always going to be annoying little Jake. So there's nothing you can do to change Jake's attitude. Or there's nothing Jake can do to change your attitude, because he's always going to be a little annoying Jake. But you need to change his attitude playing with him.
Okay, so here we go. You guys are now on the hot seat. Why? Well, let's just start from scratch. When did you decide I'm not going to rerun Jersey Boys back? When was that decision made in your head?
Towards the end of 22, me and Corey started mashing up because we were like, okay, we're not making pro. Let's mash
23.
up. 23, yeah. And 23, okay, we're like, okay, we're not going to make pro. Let's mash up. Let's just start playing with other people. Let's see how it works. And being able to play with other people is just, like, super fun. It sounds like a relationship. Unhealthy relationship.
Yeah,
but it was a blast, and being able to, like, play with other, like, just other partners, seeing how we play with other people was cool. I will say, this is going to be a shot at Corey. It's nice playing with someone who moves on defense. It's nice not having to do
all the heavy lifting.
Not heavy lifting, I'd say, because Corey still played his part on defense, but it's just like I was always the tracker, and it's like it doesn't work sometimes. One person can't always be the tracker, right? So it was nice to be able to mash up and see, like, okay, I could play well with this person. I could play well with this person. So
how many people did you mash up with?
So Jake, Mike, Kurt. That was it for tour stops,
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
You had a tournament with Dimitri, even though it was earlier in the year.
Yeah, no, that was an ERS tournament. We played with Dimitri earlier in the year, and that was fun too. Like, that was the very beginning of the year. It was like I'm playing with somebody else who's not Corey. That was the first tournament I played without Corey, and I won. So that was all. That was a good sign off the bat. But
This man's head is inflated, bro. I love it.
but I will
Okay.
say,
Go ahead,
playing
go ahead.
with out of all the teams, all the matchups I played, it definitely felt the best, and I had the best win with Jake. That was at Maryland Monumental when we beat Clark and Joe in the pool play match.
Okay.
So that we hit a really big high right then and there to be followed up by a really big low, losing to Dimitri and Bono. But again, we're still just kind of, I would say, like mid-premier players that are like still learning and getting consistent and finding our groove. But I don't know. I've always been really high on Jake for a while, so I really wanted to snag Jake before anybody else could. And yes, I was bugging him, but for those who don't know Jake, you're not going to get an answer from Jake until you bug him.
Yeah.
Like, you can ask him what 2 + 2 is, and he's not going to give you an answer until the 5th time you ask him. So
Yeah.
his girlfriend is currently watching from the sideline, constantly nodding to everything we're saying. So, and we're not making that up. And his boyfriend, Kyle Keenan. Keenan is key, the host of the landlord of the podcast.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So why? So was the decision based mostly on what you felt like where his level could be next year, or like the result that you guys had beating them in pool play? What, like, you know what I mean? Why? Or did you ask anyone else to play? Was it just Jake and I'm putting all my chips in this basket? How did that go?
I had a couple people that I was like interested in, and I let everybody know that I was interested in. So like Mike Garrett, I was interested in running it with him. Kurt Lanetti, I was interested in running with him.
Yep.
But I've always just been high on Jake and his potential, because his natural athleticism, personally, I think is just his
Very
ceiling
high.
is very high, and I think we can get him there. And I think he can get himself there for next season, and I think it's going to be his year next year. So I wanted to snag him before anybody else did. Also, just coming like with mashups wise, I thought I played very well with Jake, and yeah. Besides,
I can't help but notice that you left a certain someone off that list of who you wanted to play with next season. He's your co-host.
oh, no. So like, we can't run multiple things at once, right? So if we run the pod together, we can't run the tour series together, you know. So we have to. If we start hanging out too much, then we're gonna start like butting heads, and then it'll be like a Matt and Corey situation all over again.
I think that was smooth. I think there's a better way of going about that answer, but we'll leave it at that. We didn't get to play in a tournament this year together. We will play. We're gonna play the one in January together, though. So that'll be fun. The one that not ERS. Zach Vance is running. So that tournament for me, I'm going into what my title for that tournament is. What could have been, and then I'm going to dominate that tournament and leave Matt with such a sour taste in his mouth. Nah, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
I hope you do, because that means you'll play amazing.
Yes.
Well, I hope you do.
Darn Skippy. We have to run up the numbers on that tournament to get more people.
I haven't looked at it
signed
yet.
up.
We haven't even signed up yet.
Maybe we should
Is
do
anyone
that.
signed up for that?
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
All
All right. So now let's turn the table over to Jake. Jake, you have a decision to make with who you want to play the next season with, and you have Matt, knocking at your door. Why did you ultimately say, yeah, all right, let's do it?
Matt breathing down your back.
Well, actually, it's because of Mike the decision was made. Because
Whoa, okay, unravel this. A little Lemon Lads
Because-
insider.
I was still not willing to make a decision. I wanted to wait until at least January because you have to be like grinding in the off season and see where you're at. And I just didn't want to get locked down right away because just like you want to see what options are out there. But then Mike said he made a decision basically, and that's when we found out that he wanted to play with you. So I was like, all right, there's like realistically I was like considering Mike again because like we just didn't get to play as much as we wanted to last season. So I was like, we still left things on the table that we like could have done better. So I was like, I was definitely open to running it back. But then once he wanted to play with you, I was like, all right, Matt's someone close by and I can practice with him. So it just makes sense.
Gotcha.
Sloppy seconds.
No, it sounds well for me. It sounds like you had a couple people on your radar, and these two were probably at the top of your list, like the potential run back with Mike, and then the teaming up with Matt.
Yeah.
Right.
Were there any other players or people on your list who you thought like, oh, this would be fun, and maybe I want to look into playing the season with them?
Well, unlike you, I wasn't really looking at my options yet. I was still just like focused on my own game. So like I wasn't really worried about like finding a partner. I was just like, all right, I just need to become a better player, and then when the season rolls around, I'll have to find someone.
What if let's say Matt doesn't ask Jake or doesn't breathe down Jake's back
Okay.
and annoys him for
Ooh, I
this,
like these hypotheticals.
all right?
Yes.
Then start of this or next year rolls around. It's like January, February. Now no one's asking Jake. Jake's looking for partners, but partners are all taken. What does Jake do?
Yes.
Do you settle for a lower level player to be your partner for the season, or do you
mash?
you try and mash and see if there's like people from around the country that you might like? What would happen? What would you do?
I don't know. I'd probably at the very start still go in and just like whoever's available to run it. I'd ideally want to do it with someone in the area just because like it helps to like work on like your defensive chemistry and stuff. Because like Mike and I would always like talk about defense and just like. So we didn't even have to talk anymore. We just kind of knew what the other person was going to do, and we could just react off each other. But, like, if I'm playing with someone from another state or, like, across the country, it's, like, a lot harder to get that chemistry.
So we are going to be playing the tour series, team name to be determined. Or it's determined, but team name
keeping it on the DLs?
also on the DLs. There'll
Okay.
be a post or something about it.
Wow.
But
Respect.
I do want to. So we're gonna be running the STS series if there is one. Done. But also the USAR tour series. Have you guys heard
You just
about
told me
the
a little bit
light
ago.
of the USAR tour series that got announced?
Are they separate?
It's separate. So USAR is holding their own tour stops, like regional tournaments, that are gonna accumulate points for USAR nationals for next year, which is planning to be a lot earlier than it was this past year.
Okay.
So Ben did that seminar meeting thing with the PowerPoint last week when I was doing my solo pod, a couple weeks ago when I was doing the solo pod, and he sent me the link, and it was they plan to do a couple regional tournaments, and then the nationals by July, I think he said. So it's like a earlier tour series going from either like March or from April to July, something smaller, just to get a grip of, I guess, the USA national team, see how many people can play on that. And I don't know if it's going to add up to anything like that yet. I don't know how it's going to work with that. Like if it's like, oh, winners of each tournament get a certain amount of points and the most points get on the national team. I don't think it's going to turn out like that, but I guess it gives people more of a reason to come to these USAR tournaments to get points for nationals. Make sense? Am I explaining this right?
Yeah, I follow. Do you follow it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's about damn time USAR has a freaking tour series.
That'd be cool.
They needed this for a while. Do you think they use spike ball equipment? Do you think they use Premier Spike equipment? Do you think it matters what equipment they use? Do you think it's whoever's going to pay them the most money to use the equipment?
Probably the latter, because it's all about money and trying to find out best ways to utilize funding. If they were, I don't know. What do you think?
Are there cash prizes for this?
Great question.
I'm assuming there will be, but probably not a lot. Like USAR Nationals was not a big cash prize. So I'm assuming there's going to be some cash. I don't know if it's going to be a lot, but I think it's going to be
More
mostly
like registration-driven cash prizes.
Yeah.
Basically like
I think it's going to be more point-based for like to get a good seed at USAR Nationals, or not seed, to get a good. Maybe there's going to be a USAR Pro division. That would be good. Maybe they do like a USAR Premier division where everybody starts new and you have to earn the top division at USAR. That would be a really good idea.
that'd be cool.
That'd be really cool to see.
Be very cool. Yeah, I don't know. Be cool to see what they do with it, and it's nice because it's a little bit of a clean slate.
Yeah.
To where they can try and take everything that's been happening with STS, with stuff overseas, and try and create like the best possible structure for something that's maybe a little bit more like sustainable. Not like, maybe where money isn't like the main focal point, where the STS seems to be having issues with money because it feels like everything they do is around spending money or paying for this and trying to get this done. I don't know. They got something big could happen from this. It could be good.
You asked about the money. Do you think if it's not a big cash purse, you think people won't show?
I think it depends on what they're trying to do. Like, I feel like with the equipment, this is the time where you could try out in a Premier Spike tournament and see how that goes, see what people think, get feedback, and just see what people like. Because as it is, I personally don't care for the pro set that's used. I mean,
The weighted pro set.
yeah, the weighted one.
Me neither.
I mean, the regular one isn't that great either because it just moves constantly. But then just like watching the championship, you could just look at the net and it looked warped. And it's like, if this is a professional sport, like
Yeah, that's
the
crazy.
top level, and you're going to be playing on a warped net, like that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So you're open. Would you like to see a USAR like experimental tour series where they try these different things? And like, would you rather that, or would you rather a uniform tour series? Here are the layout. Here's the rules. This is spike ball. Like we're playing the round net that we all have played, and that's what it's going to be.
If they're not focused on the money, which it sounds like there isn't going to be a ton for the cash prizes, I think it's better to experiment with like different changes and things while still like trying to improve the sport.
Like 2014 brackets.
Dear God. We are steady overthinking things.
Yeah.
Dear Jesus.
What do you think?
About what?
The experimental versus the...
Yeah, experiment. I mean, if they're not bound by contract of any sort, it'd be cool to see them do Premier Spike tournament with a pro ball or the Mav 1 ball on, a pro set, and try different things. So, yeah, I'd be down for experimental. But then it gets into the competitiveness, too. Like, if they want a legit series, they may need to, have it be one thing. Especially if there's going to be like spots for like the USAR national team on the line.
Well, yeah.
It's like you're getting into a little bit of fishy territory.
Do you think USAR... So 2 spots for the USAR national team are taken. Gabe and Will. Do you think it should be like people need to win tournaments to earn spots on that team? Or do you think it should come down to the panel or the committee, whoever's picking USAR team, to pick out the players?
I think that whoever came up with the idea to put 24 teams in a bracket when like almost 80 teams showed up, I think that guy should just decide who gets to go. He's just making the calls. Just let him keep making the calls.
I think he
Why
might be
change
a
it
part
now?
of it too, which is funny.
Yeah, let him do it. He's got it. We're fine. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, what do you really think? What do I really think? Yeah, I'm cool actually with the panel. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think I'm okay with the panel too deciding, but they shouldn't just be able to pick from anyone. You had to have gone to tournaments and have certain amount of results. And then basically if you meet the criteria, then you can be chosen among them.
That's good.
Yes.
It's a good idea.
That's really good. I think that we should be the panel.
I think we could be the panel.
I think if we decided on this and we came up with our own criteria and nominated players, people would be like, all right, I respect that more so than just like the USAR panel.
Okay, so when it comes time for preseason
That's
of
crazy, but
USAR,
I think it's real, Brandon.
USAR preseason, the 3 of us are going to come back on, and we are going to come up with the criteria live on the podcast, and then we're going to pick players right before USAR Nationals, or right before the teams have to be announced. We're going to pick our players and see if you guys like our players or the USAR players, depending on how they pick them.
How many players go? Isn't it 10? Is it 10 men?
I think it's different this year. They're doing something where it's similar to college, I think, where the men's, if you're playing in open men's, or if you're playing in men's, you cannot play co-ed. Like the co-ed team has to play co-ed. The men's teams have to play men, and the women's teams have to play women.
So
I think it's something like that. So I think it's going to be more players this year. but I don't know who. I don't know how they pick. So the SLP committee is going to pick our teams when we figure all that stuff out.
Yeah, and then we'll put our nominations up and see maybe if our voices are heard.
The SL panel.
Ooh, SL.
A panel.
So how many? So you don't know how many players it could potentially be?
I don't.
Let's say in a make-believe world, in a say a squads tournament format, you could only take 7 players. Okay.
Okay.
We're on the panel right now. Which 7 go?
Right now?
Yeah, right now. Let's say we were going to decide right now who was going to represent us in that format.
Gabe. Marino. Matt Cole. Clark Marshall.
3 more.
Max Modell.
2 more. It's a good list.
Dang.
You got 2 more, bro.
Will Piccone. And we're talking about USAR.
USAR.
USA round there. And then Kyle just shouted Vinny.
Get that boy a dual citizenship.
I need one more.
Yep.
Oh, man. This is tough. This is so tough.
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably Clap.
Okay. Great 7. Jake, you want to go with 7?
I think you got to go Clap and Matt Cole, just because they won the championship.
Okay.
You got to go both Ryan Marino and Thomas Hamilton.
I'm changing Clap for Thomas Hamilton.
No.
Because they won like 6 tour stops last year.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe, Will, and then Joe.
Ooh. That's pretty tough.
That's a better list than mine.
And I'm gonna go with my 7. Going to be our last year World Championship team of Clark Marshall and Buddy Hammond. I'm gonna send both of them. Captain America.
Okay.
I'm gonna send Gabe as well. I'm gonna send Ryan Marino into the fire. I'm gonna send Clapwick. That's 5. I'm gonna send Will Piccone, knee, ? And my last one, I like Bondi. I'm gonna go Bondi as well.
I do like the Bondi shout.
Yeah, the Bondi's a great pull.
Why'd I have to go first?
That is true. So maybe it is. Who knows? I probably won't be 7. It'll probably be more, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be fun to see how it plays out in like Worlds this year. I'm excited to see how that plays. Wait, this year, 2024, right?
2024. Yep.
Yeah. Where is it gonna be?
London.
London. That's right. They decided to do a little bit of the Scott Beeks rub. Let's go to London. It'll help our viewership.
Something like that.
Yes. Yeah. It's all about the clicks.
All about the clicks.
Who funds Worlds? I'm sorry.
It's a good question.
IRF. I think.
International
actually, you
Roundnet
said.
Foundation.
So Kyle Keenan asked who funds Worlds, and we're gonna dive into this right now because it's my next topic. Spikeball just announced their sponsorship of the World Championship, the International Roundnet Federation World Championship.
Some people were a little upset by that.
Yeah.
Some people were tight.
Some people were posting on their story all about it.
Yeah.
Commenting, getting 40 likes on one of the comments for the.
I don't know who that was, but it's crazy.
And posting it on their story, ripping Spikeball apart.
Yeah.
But honestly, Spikeball can spend God knows how much money to fund a world championship with, what was it, 30-something countries on it went last year, but they can't pay back their freaking athletes.
It's a weird flex, man. It's just like I don't want to be left behind. Like I need to still be the focal point. But
The
you have
whole
debts.
women's division was supposed to be paid.
What do you mean the whole women's
The
division?
whole women's division was supposed to be paid.
You were talking about all the pro
Every
teams?
single pro women's player was supposed to get paid, and they still haven't gotten anything.
Really?
And
maybe
so
they need to work on their format. Why are you paying every women's pro team?
This pod is getting recorded for reference on December 19th. It's going to get posted the Thursday before New Year's.
New Year's.
So Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
But back to the real talk.
Happy Kwanzaa.
By New Year's, it could be different. But I know the email said that they're trying to get everybody paid by the end of the month, the end of December.
What email?
There's an email that all the players got that they were supposed to get paid, saying like, "Oh, funds are delayed. We're going to try and get everybody paid by the end of December."
So an email went out to, do you think, just like a few players, maybe like 3 or 4?
Everybody who was supposed to get paid.
How many do you think that is?
There's a list. I can probably find the chain and get everybody who's on it. But it was all the pro players, or at least the podiums for co-ed, the podiums for men's pro or open pro, the podiums, and everybody in the women's division.
Do you okay? Yeah. Well, so you think the list maybe like 20 people? There's upwards of 20?
More.
100?
I think more.
100
Not
people?
100 people. No. But more than 20, I think, because there's 12 women's teams. That's 24 people right there.
Right. So, yeah,
So-
it's probably in the 50s then.
It's a lot of people not getting paid by spike ball,
Yeah.
but they can go fund a world championship just so they don't get overtaken by Premier Spike.
That's what happens when then you get people on there commenting crazy stuff, acting like a Death Eater.
Crazy, acting like a Death Eater. Good shout.
Thanks. Call back.
But yeah, I mean, how long is this gonna go? We'll see by the time this podcast is posted if it gets paid off or not. That'll be around the end of the month. Everybody should be paid by then, as per their email. So,
Fingers crossed Santa comes early for y'all.
well, this would be after Christmas.
Hopefully Santa's just a couple days late.
How much?
How much money you think they are owed?
Like,
How much money you think that they
Total?
owe total?
Well, it's a couple thousand for each winner. So that would be, is it 5,000 for the winners? Do you guys remember?
I think it was 5K, but I don't think it was a combined 5K. I think it was 5K for the winning team.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like 2,500 a piece. Yeah.
So that's 15K just for the 3 podium winners, or just for the 3 division winners, plus second, third place, plus all the women in the division. You got to think the men's pro then must have gotten paid out at least throughout the round of 8, right?
Probably so.
So
then you wonder if there's anybody that are like non-players that haven't been paid. You know,
right? That's a
It's
question.
possible,
Any workers that haven't been paid yet?
right? Like people that do the stuff on the back
Yeah.
end, whether it's the gasaways or anybody like that. You never know.
Yeah, that's an interesting question to ask. We got to get some people on and talk about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
What if you didn't get paid? I will say from the night of the Christmas Classic, I got home and I was paid by the time I woke up the next morning.
I don't know. I feel like I'd just be annoyed about it, but like I feel like it's out of my hands. So just like I'll just keep complaining about it till hopefully I get paid.
Like, especially if you had to travel for it.
Yeah.
Like, there were people who traveled for that and just hoping to win, and then they win, but now they're in debt because they couldn't pay off their credit card bill because they were expecting to get paid from Spikeball. Now they are in debt and going to court trying to fight off this tax evasion. And could you imagine? Like, this could happen. This could happen.
Yeah. Well, if we were dealing with larger sums of money, I bet you it would happen. You know what I mean? If people were about to be paid 20, 30 grand for a tournament, I don't know. Who
It's
the
tough.
freak knows,
It's tough.
man? Would you go and travel to all these tournaments if it was playing for free? Like if it was literally just like you just were playing for like the points and the glory.
Did you go to Salt Lake City this past year?
Yeah. What the
Yeah.
hell?
I did too. We already are traveling
Yeah.
for free.
Do you think that?
So-
Yeah. No. Yeah. For sure.
We probably will.
Yes. I just wonder if like any of the top players would be like, all right, I'm not going to go to as many because there's not as money on the line. Like the people that are used to being first, second, third, fourth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And getting some sort of compensation for the money they're spending to get to these tournaments. I don't know.
I think
Interesting question.
That's where it
Maybe
comes
they
in.
go to less.
Maybe like that's when the players union comes in. Like I think Brendan Ferreira asked that question in that solo pod I did about a players union and how that could help be getting players paid, or else we boycott all of, like Spikeball Tour Series events, and like you don't have a choice if you're a part of the players union. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's an interesting take.
That is interesting. Also, Brendan Ferreira, every once in a while you meet somebody in the community where you go like, that's the dude right there, and he is.
He's a dude.
He's one of the coolest dudes in the game that you could spend time with, just like hanging. So, yeah.
You know how long he's been in the game for?
I don't know.
It's been a very long time. Yeah.
5 years.
He's about. He's a little bit older than me, but like he's been in the game for a while. I think maybe even more than 5 years. He was Marino's partner in
maybe 21 or 20.
It was either 2019 or 21. But yeah, he was one of Marino's first partners, and they didn't do too well. They played what they could back in the day. But yeah, like he's been around for a while. Super fun guy.
Yeah, he's really good dude. So, we got anything more for Jake specifically?
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. You forced me to come on here.
That's true. That's true. Just like he wouldn't say yes to being my partner, I had to
keep pushing,
drag him by the ear to get him in this chair.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you glad you came on though? Don't answer that. So
Smart.
I think this has been enough for this Happy New Year podcast. Just something light, something that we can throw out there so that way we can spend time, take time off, enjoy the families, enjoy the holidays. Call us selfish. I don't care.
No, we don't.
Right? So yeah, this has been episode 23.
Wow, it's a Jordan episode.
Michael Jordan.
The goat.
That's crazy.
goat.
The goat on the pod. Bah. Sorry, Kyle.
So, okay. Episode 23. Go follow us on all our social medias. Spike Lemonade Pod on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram. Follow at Jake Roundnet on Instagram. At Jake Mott is your normal one. Jake _Roundnet.
He doesn't
or
use
Jake
he doesn't use the
Mottershead.
normal one.
Yeah, he doesn't go on Instagram
He doesn't
a lot.
use either.
I don't post.
You should follow
You know-
it anyway.
Yeah.
Why not?
You know what's funny too? I was thinking about like if Spikeball one day ever like pops off crazy and like there's millions of people that like follow like the main account and then other people's pages and like Jake has just like Jake _Roundnet and like somebody one day was like, "Can I get that handle, bro? Like I actually still play."
You could probably sell that handle for a lot.
Yeah, just like
Ooh.
the OG. Jake
Hold on to that.
_.
Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, check us out. We got some stuff happening. By now, the website should be up and live with some apparel. I dropped that link here. Actually, yes. Check the link in the description. It should be in there. It probably should be in there by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, TBD on that. But I think it's happening. But you'll see posts and other things where we build up to that. Episode 23 in the books. These guys taking on the 2024 season together. High hopes for them. As long as we can get Jake out to more than 4 tournaments. Pro Division or bust?
Pro Division. But that's it.
What's that's it?
That's it.
Like you guys don't talk to each other anymore?
I'm not saying on Jake's behalf, but on my behalf, that's it. Pro Division or
He retires.
yeah, maybe. No more Matt's Bow? No more Matt's Bow around there?
Wow.
Maybe.
That's crazy. Shoot, I respect it. Yeah, we'll leave it there.
We'll leave it there. No more talks
Leave
about
it there.
that.
All right, episode 23 in the books. Check us out. Talk to you guys soon.
See you.
Like a match pole. Spike lemonade, on the way to the top, about to elevate. Spike lemonade, and the boys don't play, better get it straight. Spike lemonade,